Hello everyone and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars review. First and foremost, I do apologise that it's been so long since my last review. It seems between my last video and this new one that I'm about to do for you, I haven't had much to review, and then all of a sudden everything's just arrived at once. So I've got a plethora of videos to do for you with some really cool stuff to review. So let's jump straight into it. First and foremost, as I said, we are going to take a look at a LEGO set. And in today's review, it is this one. Set number 75078. The Imperial Troop Transport from Star Wars Rebels. Now this in many ways continues the theme that my last review kicked off, obviously with the Rebels theme, as we do see this particular vehicle and these characters in action during the animated series. Now before I jump into this review, once again a huge thanks goes out to the guys over at Norton & Co and the LEGO Group, who once again were kind enough to supply this particular set for a review. And again, thanks to them, I will have some very cool LEGO Star Wars reviews to come for you later on down the line. Now, this particular set is of course from the Battle Pack range, meaning that it consists of very few parts and retails for a very reasonable price. This one currently retails for $11.99 and it consists of 141 pieces. So it's what we come to expect from the Battle Pack range, and the finished product, as always, is very, very nice. As you can see, we've got some fantastic artwork on the front of the box, and on the reverse side we do indeed get a rundown of some of the features that the Imperial Troop Transport has. Now this particular set is really cool for you army builders out there, as it does consist of 4 Imperial Stormtroopers as well as the Troop Transport itself. So if you want to pick up multiples of this one, you really can do that, you know, boost up your armies, and it creates some very cool scenes with these LEGO troopers. So that is the box that this particular set comes in. Now let's kick off the review, and we'll begin by taking a look, as always, at the minifigures. Now in this particular set, as mentioned, we do get 4 of these guys, which are the Star Wars Rebels inspired Stormtroopers. Now these are of course stylized in the sort of animated theme, so they do have slightly stylized helmets and armor, but they do fit in really, really well with the LEGO Star Wars universe. Now as you can see, the helmets are painted up and printed really, really nicely, very accurate to the show, and once again you've got all the armour printing on the torso and legs as well. Underneath the helmet we do get a regular clone trooper head, and as you can see this guy does come with the stud firing blaster, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I do understand that for playability reasons and all that sort of stuff that these are the most logical weapons to include. And of course we do have some printing around the back of this minifigure as well. Now what I'm going to do with this particular review is, since each of the minifigures in this set are exactly the same with the exception of the human portrait underneath, a couple of them feature the more aggressive looking clone trooper head, but I'm just going to give you a look at one minifigure and then we're going to jump straight into the troop transport, as the rest of these minifigures are displayed within that. So once again there is a quick close-up of the Stormtrooper. And without further ado, let's take a look at the Troop Transport itself. Now this is of course the Troop Transport that we see in the Star Wars Rebels animated TV series. However, the design and concept of this vehicle actually dates back to a Star Wars vintage toy from Kenner back in the 1970s. Now obviously we never actually see the Imperial Troop Transport in any of the original Star Wars movies, but for whatever reason, you know, Kenner decided that this particular design would make a cool toy. I'm guessing it was some sort of rejected concept art from the original trilogy. And obviously Kenner decided to make the toy, and then all these years down the line, Lucasfilm and Disney decided that it was a cool enough design to incorporate into the animated series. And LEGO have done a fantastic job of capturing the look and feel of the Imperial Troop Transport. Now it does come with very few features, but the features that it does consist of are very, very cool. Now obviously the first one is the fact that this is a troop transport, so it does the job of transporting the troops rather nicely, and that is done so by these flaps that just hold the troopers in place on the side of the vehicle. Now obviously it is horrendously underscaled, in the sense that obviously in the show we do get a couple of troops sat inside this sort of cockpit area, and you know, it's a much larger vehicle within the series, but for the purposes of this battle pack and obviously to incorporate this particular set as a toy, Lego decided to underscale it a little bit, and I think they've done a reasonable job, so no major complaints with the size of this particular set. Now, as I mentioned, in terms of features, this one is on the light side, no pun intended, but again the features are very cool. So obviously we have the fact that the troops can be stored within the vehicle. We also have a rotating turret on the top, just there, which does feature flick fire missiles. Obviously just give those a tap at the back and they'll fire out. And then if you proceed to remove a couple of the troops from one side of the transport, inside the transport there you will see a storage container, and if we slide that out like so, you will see that we do get some extra ammunition for the stud blasters, which is really nice to see. Adds a little bit of value for money and some really cool playability to the overall set, and it's nicely stored away in the inside of the transport. And then you can proceed to replace your troops back inside there, close up the flaps and send these guys into action. So all in all, a very cool set, a nice interpretation of a rather iconic vehicle. Very nice indeed, really nice set. Again, for the price, great value for money, a great army builder set, and all in all, I'd definitely recommend this one. Highly recommended indeed. Very cool set, especially if you're a fan of the Empire. And I can only hope that with the imminent release of The Force Awakens in a couple of months' time, that we'll see some really cool Stormtrooper army builder packs from the new movie. So that is going to do it for this short but sweet review on the Imperial Troop Transport. Once again, set number 75078 from the LEGO Star Wars Rebels range. A very cool set, highly recommended, and as always there's a link down below in the video description where you can purchase this particular set for yourself and add it to your collection. So I'll be back with some more reviews very soon. I've got absolutely tons to do for you. I've got some Hasbro Black Series figures to give you a look at, some 6" and 3 3/4" figures, tons more Lego, and some very cool and unique items as well. So stay tuned for all of those, and until next time guys, as always I want to thank you for watching this review, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.